Check every single dollar bill because you could have a very, very rare dollar bill. Welcome back to Couch Collectibles. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. In today's video, we are looking at some rare currency, banknotes, rare $1 bills that you should always be on the lookout for. So let's just hop right into it. Don't forget, if you guys want a coin microscope, I do have those available on couchcollectibles.com. Also, I discounted the coin roll hunting mats, so if you guys want to go get one for cheaper, feel free to go get one. Let's start off with the first dollar bill here from 1969. Now, of course, the condition is always going to matter when reselling these bills as well. So keep that in mind. This one is not in the best condition. You see the reverse, it's lined up perfectly. However, here on the front of the bill, we have a misalignment error, and that's where the value is gonna come in. This dollar bill only sold for around $30, but had it been in much better condition, it would have sold for more. Next up is a 1974 Federal Reserve note, and now this dollar bill has a double error. So, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can see that there on the front of the bill. So we got a partial back-to-face offset error and an obstruction error taking place on this bill. Now, nothing there on the reverse, but again, you know, this is something that would stand out, you know, a million miles away, so you wouldn't have to like inspect your bill really closely or anything. These are pretty self-explanatory and very visible, you know, when you're going through your dollars. So this dollar bill sold for over $260. Now keep in mind, all you have to do is go to the bank, get $1 bills, ask them for, you know, 20 $1 bills or whatever you can afford, 50, 100 and $1 bills, and you know, hopefully you can find something awesome in those bills. So next up is a 1977 $1 bill. It's got a printed fold error, so we see that the seal is kind of cut off there. The serial number is up here at the top of the bill, all the way in the middle above the word reserve. And then here on the right side of the bill, we're missing the serial numbers and the seal as well. Now here on the back, that's where we see that seal and serial number coming through. So that is a really unique and interesting dollar bill there. This Federal Reserve note sold for over $160. Now, if you haven't seen my other dollar bill videos, definitely check those out because I'm going to show you other things to look for as well. Here's a 1981 Federal Reserve note. You can see that this one's pretty obvious as well. Too bad it's not in great condition. It's in pretty poor condition. However, it is a fold over error. We see that going through the seal and the serial number there on the left side of the bill. And then we see that there on the reverse. Man, I wish it was in better condition. This dollar bill only sold for around $45. So nothing too valuable. But again, a higher grade on this bill, it would have sold for more money. Next up is a 1988 $1 bill. I really like gutter fold errors, and that's what this is right here. You can see that there we have all that ink missing as a result of that gutter fold taking place. So that is really awesome. It leaves that gap there, and of course the bill is longer than it's supposed to be because of that gutter fold, and we see that here on the back of the bill as well. So this $1 bill here sold for just over $85. Moving on, now this is like the 3D type of bills. I've shown this in, you know, some previous videos, different examples of this. It's a double impression error taking place. You can see that it's got, you know, doubled ink. It looks really like 3D almost. It's from 1993, and this dollar bill sold for over $400. Now here on the back, looks pretty normal. Little crease there in the middle. You know, if it was in better condition, it would sell for more, but you know, it's in pretty decent shape. So 400 bucks for that one. Now this one is really awesome. Too bad it didn't sell for too much money. It only sold for around 75 bucks. It's a 1995 Federal Reserve note. It's got an offset printing error, and you see that. You see the reverse design coming through here on the front of the bill there at the top. And then here on the back, looks pretty normal. So like I said, 75 bucks for that one. Now this one here is really cool. This might be my favorite of the video. I really do like this one. It's a 1995 Federal Reserve notes. This dollar bill has an over inking error, and we can see that taking place there on the seal on the left side of the dollar bill from 1995. Now, this $1 bill sold for over $150. Keep in mind it is in very good condition as well, so that will play a factor in its value. Alright, the 1999 Federal Reserve notes. Now this has a fold over error as well. We see that here on the right side of the bill, so check that out. We have that little strip there from that fold over taking place. So it's in really good condition as well, so that gives it value. This dollar bill sold for a little over $90. Next up, now this one is very, very unique, a 1999 dollar bill. We see here on the front that the seals, the serial numbers, all of that printing is completely missing. Now here on the back is where those seals and serial numbers are. Now it's a shame that someone wrote on this bill, you see it's in Spanish, someone wrote on this bill with a pen. You know, had they had not done that, it would have probably sold, it would have sold for, you know, much more money. But this bill is still super unique. I absolutely love these types of errors like this. This dollar bill sold for over $1,700 even in this condition. Moving on to a 2001 dollar bill. Now a little more modern here. This dollar bill here has a misaligned black overprint and it's got a flood pattern ink smear there on the face. So we see the black seal there down at the bottom, which is supposed to be much higher than that there, centered with the serial number. And then we have that ink smear taking place across the bottom of the bill there. So that will give the bill value. This dollar bill sold for over $600. How many times am I gonna say the word bill in this video? Now, moving on. Now, this is a set of $5 bills that all sold together. Now, this might be one of my favorites of the video as well. It's an ink smear error taking place on the green seal there on the right side of the bill. So we have 5 different examples of that, and they all sold together as a combined set for over $1,500. And I think it's really awesome that the ink is bleeding through the back, the reverse of the bill there. So that is really awesome. Here's a couple other dollar bills, fancy serial numbers that you should always be on the lookout for. Up here is a binary note. All right, so we see here that it only has 2 numbers, 0 and 9 in the serial number. So very cool. Keep an eye out for those. This $1 bill, and you can see that it's not in the greatest shape. It was definitely a circulated bill. This dollar bill sold for a little over $90 on eBay. Moving on to another binary bill, and this one here only has 2 numbers as well, 6 and 8. You can also see that it starts with 6-8 and ends with 8-6. So very cool bill. This $20 bill, again, definitely a circulated bill. It's got all kinds of creases in it, but it did sell for over $65. So $45 more than its face value. Not too bad if you're just going through your wallet or getting bills from the bank and searching through them. Always look for these type of fancy serial numbers. Next up is a binary note again. Now this one here has 1s and 2s, and it is actually pretty cool because it goes 11 to 11 to 11. So it starts with 1-1, ends with 1-1. Very cool. Again, this one is not, you know, like a brand new crisp bill either. And this $20 bill sold for over $125 on eBay. Moving on to a birthday note. Now this one isn't super valuable, but we can see that it has the month 12, so December, and then 22 for the 22nd, the day of the month, and then 1956 there on the end. So it's like a birthday. Some people save those. They're not too sought after, but I guess some people do. This Federal Reserve note only sold for around $25, so only $5 more than its face value. So let's move on to the next bill here. Now this one is a $1 bill from 2013, and it has a low serial number. So if you see a lot of zeros in the serial numbers on your bills, definitely hold on to those. Low serial numbers are definitely sought after by collectors. This $1 bill sold for over $100. So here's another example of a low serial number, all zeros until the end there. We got 29 at the end, and this $1 bill sold for over $200. So very cool. Always be on the lookout for those low serial numbers. Now this one here is nearly a solid. So a solid would be every number the same. So it does have all 6s except for that 1-3 in there. So it would definitely sell for more if it was all 6s. But this $100 bill sold for over $160. So $60 more than its actual face value. Next up is a star note and also a radar bill. So very cool. Now radar serial numbers are going to read the same both ways. So if you read this thing backwards or forwards, it's going to read the same way. You see that it only has 2 and 0 in the serial number as well. And then of course, like I said, that star there at the end. So that's pretty cool. This $1 bill here sold for a little over $50. Moving on to an older $100 bill. Now this one is from 1990. Now this one's pretty cool. It is a repeater. We see that it starts with 22 and ends with 22, and then we got all 7s there in the middle. So always look out for serial numbers like these because they could be worth more than their face value, as this $100 bill sold for over $125. Next up is a super repeater. Now this one is definitely almost a solid as well. All 6s, only 1 0 there at the end. And you can see that this $1 bill has definitely been used quite a bit. It's not in the best condition. This $1 bill sold for a little over $50. Hey, not bad if you turn a dollar bill into $50. That's good in my book any day of the week. Alright, so something else to look for. You want to look for mismatched serial numbers. So here is a $2 bill from 1976. Now what's cool about this is that this one isn't very noticeable unless you really inspect it closely and read both serial numbers. So it does go 59208380 on the left, and then 59208480 on the right. So that is very cool. We got a mismatched serial number with the 3 and the 4 there. Definitely always check them and make sure they're matching, because if they're not matching, then they're going to have some value. Now, this $2 bill here sold for over $690. And of course, it is in excellent condition, so that will have a big factor in determining the bill's value as well. Moving on to another $100 bill. Now this one is from 1996. You can tell it's definitely been used. It's got creases. It's got some kind of stamp that someone put on there. So it's not in the best condition, but it did sell for a lot of money. Now this one here is a mismatched serial number, okay? So the left side starts with 152. The right side starts with 156. So very cool. Always be on the lookout for those, because you could have a super valuable bill. This $100 bill sold for over $3,000. That's right, $3,000. Moving on to a 1999 Federal Reserve notes. Now this banknote here is a $1 bill that has a mismatched suffix error. So not the serial number, the numbers, but actually the letter. So you can see that it starts with C here on the left and ends in E. However, here on the right side of the bill, it starts with C and ends with I. So the E and the I are mismatched suffix there. So this dollar bill here sold for over $1,000. That's right, 1,000 US dollars. Alright, check out a couple more of these rare banknotes that you should always be on the lookout for in your wallet or from the bank. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Check out the videos to the left of me, and until tomorrow, I'll see you on the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.